All right, guys. Jamie Gonzalez.
Shad Stoker.
Nick McGurk.
Born detailer in the full effect, guys. What a crazy.
It's so good to be here.
So good to have you.
Can we get the? I'm vibing though with
We're
it.
vibing. So yeah, everyone's here.
Everyone.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Yup.
The gang
more in time.
is here.
Gang.
Time. But yeah,
It's good to be. Thank you for having me on the podcast. The
You know
Born
what?
Detailer podcast, the hottest podcast in detailing besides.
In the business.
besides the DIY one.
All right, I am a company man. I love what you
Loyalty
guys
is
are
good.
doing. I love what you guys are doing though. Shad, when you guys talk at the end of the podcast, when you get deep on this like motivational talk, I'm like, I feel it. You know?
Yeah, I feel it too.
I feel it.
I get pumped. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, like, it's crazy. But yeah, so right off the bat, SEMA was kind of a bust.
You say
I had a
SEMA was-
great time. I had
Okay.
a great time. But the main thing about it is, I don't know, I didn't see anything new, anything that really, really caught my eye.
Nope.
Did you see the detailometer? It's like this gloss meter for $2,400.
Yeah, that's a cheap.
Everyone needs that.
I talked to them. They are like from the concrete polishing industry. They were in the North Hall, and they are like the standard for concrete polishing gloss standards. And they're like, they can measure haze and defects and all these things. They say they think this will be the standard for the detail industry too.
I don't know, bro.
I don't see that ever being a standard in general.
It's
Like
an
for
upsell
concourse,
tool,
but
upsell tool.
yeah, I
Time
don't know,
will
man.
tell.
But like, I'm hearing this a lot. Like the SEMA was a bust. There was no innovation. But like, how much innovation do people want? They want to get innovated out of a job.
Well, the main thing though is that in the hall last year, tons of coatings companies, bro.
Right.
Like big ones too. There was a few that I was like, man, they had like as big as like a CP, like a Ceramic Pro spot.
Wait, are there few? You think there were fewer this
I
year
think
than
it was
last
fewer.
year?
Coatings.
Really?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
graphene is a bust.
Hey man,
Not a bust.
No,
not a
but
bust.
no,
he doesn't
no.
mean a bust like it doesn't work.
No,
he
but
means
no,
like
they were bro,
overhyped. People came
oversold,
out-
overhyped.
People created a business model hoping like they were looking for their competitive advantage, right? So they're like, "Oh, graphene, that's our thing. We're gonna come take over the ceramic world with our new graphene coating."
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
it's just it can has attributes that help ceramic coatings, but,
But now
it's still a ceramic
graphene
coating.
at the 2023 SEMA was this.
Nothing,
Nothing, bro.
And
Crickets.
Graphene can help, but again, you can't build a coating off of graphene. They are all. Even the ones that are graphene are ceramic coatings with graphene in them that can help with little
Yes.
things. but-
I think you can see the high water mark on the rocks where the graphene hype and the craze went crazy, right? And we're down here again, and maybe it's kind of leveled. That's a metaphor that I have no idea if it works.
We
or not.
are years away from graphene being a viable standalone coating.
Would you agree though?
It's all in
Hopefully
the
that
cell.
the chemistry is getting better and better.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So I think it may have a place, but it's maybe not what everyone thinks.
I think
because we have one that people love.
One thing. One thing.
But we don't
what I
oversell
learned
it.
from DIY though is that it's all in that. It's like I feel like to change wax or paint sealants, like we call it, whatever. And now the ceramic is hitting so heavy. It's like,
What do you think wax is going to do? Like,
bro,
is it gonna
everyone
hang out?
still says wax. I hear it every day. Wax
But
is still the thing.
I think that's why graphene. I think that's why graphene came out of the chute so hard last year, is because everyone's like ceramic coatings are already so big. Like how do we supercharge it? What's the next thing? What's the innovation, right? And they innovated themselves right out of a job because again they created this huge bit or this business around graphene or this 9
Because
million
like Adams
year-
Polish had like their graphene and same what McGuire's didn't have.
And they charge like it's like a 9-year ceramic is $100 and a 9-year graphene is $230. But there's like a 0.5% difference in performance.
we're talking about innovation.
Innovation.
There's a big name in the industry who had something to say about that from SEMA this year.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, and today I'm going to give a SEMA recap, my fresh thoughts that I have on what I saw at the show, and I'm super grateful that I have a podcast that I could talk about these thoughts. The most common thing that I saw happening at SEMA, and we see it in the online space a lot with, people kind of copying other people's videos or doing should I even talk about it?
He claims a lack of innovation.
Other detail companies
Yeah,
just
I
copying
think so.
what other detailing companies are doing, and
Who's
the risk
copying,
of
though?
doing
I
that
don't know.
is you
So-
don't know how that other detail business is doing. So, for example, if you
I
copy
don't know
their
How do we not copy? Like, what hasn't been done?
What if what he's saying is true, and at the same time, detail brands just get better at their core products? Like they just make an interior cleaner that's better, right? Or like a ceramic detail spray that's better, to the point where like it's just serving the end user, that there's no crappy products left. Could that be the way we're headed?
Yeah, for sure. But what, like, so I agree and I disagree with a few things. Yeah, there was no innovation, but the copying, like, yes, you shouldn't copy somebody's menu. You shouldn't go to your competitor and copy their menu verse for verse and put it on yours and change your logo. But again, there's no innovations. Like, everything has been done. Everything has been said. All people do is take that and create their own. I mean, we're doing it here. We're taking his video and giving our own opinion on things. Yeah. So, I told you about this, but like, one of the best books I've ever read was called Still Like an Artist, because every single artist just steals somebody else's work and puts their spin on it. There's nothing new in the world. There's no. I mean,
Rupes had their really cool polish. I feel like that stole the show in terms of marketing, right? This cordless 15 millimeter, 21. Like you're a Rupes man. You love Rupes, right?
Yeah.
They stole the show. That's probably the biggest innovation, even though there's many cordless polishers out there already.
Right. And all they did was take a cordless polisher and put that Rupes spin on it. And put a cord, which is phenomenal. I love it. I think it's the best one in the market.
Yep.
I think it's the smoothest. I think it's the most powerful.
I really like the Lake Country one, though.
Yeah, the Lake Country. But
the rotary, too. Like the rotary thing. Like it
different polisher.
Different
polisher.
Yeah,
but as far as
3-in-1. Yep.
Like, that's the polisher I'm going to buy. I would never buy a cordless polisher until that Rupes came out. Because I hate battery operated tools because you're constantly switching out the batteries, or I love batteries for the top of the car, and I love corded on the side just because it doesn't get in the way. So having that option for both is an innovation. It's a new twist. It's better than what's out there, I think, but is it an innovation? It's a polisher. So no, it's not innovation. It still polishes paint. It just does it in a different way. So no innovation there.
I think that's a very interesting discussion. And I think, remember, early on, I would ask Jason Rose for help polishing. I went to his training, right? Mm-hmm. But then it's like, but I had my Kat Chemie and and he's like, well, what if you had only Rupes products and you came to me and asked for help and I could help you because that was the system, right? And that's kind of the way it was for us too, is like, find a company that you really believe in their customer service on the back end and that you like their products. Because I feel like that's where you can innovate, because you can be creative and help people in the real world. I don't know. Maybe that's too simplified, but it's not. I'm trying to figure out what that looks like for innovation. And we got great,
Well, everything changes, just like polishing styles. Everybody's slow. Ivan's a slow polisher. Jason's a slow polisher.
You're talking about low speed?
Low speed.
Yep.
Like everything, techniques change. I don't know.
Everyone, again, we're all polishing. We're not doing anything different. We're polishing. We're just doing it in a different way. So we're taking a technique and putting our own spin on it. That's what everything is. This new polisher, everything in the world is copied to some degree.
You know what we're not talking about is like the hot new product, because we can't think of one at SEMA this year because there wasn't as much.
Man. The Meganaut, the 65. We'll get into that later. The 65 million square foot drying towel.
Get into what?
Towel.
Get into what later? Let's get into it now.
Yeah.
You got a sound effect? Oh yeah. No. What?
Let's do it.
I don't know what the Meganaut is.
All right, let's see it, bro.
I need some help.
Oh. Here we go.
That is a dope towel, bro. Like, that's... Dang,
This is a banner, bro. This is auto fiber. So I was...
Dang. That's gigantic. That's a bath towel.
Sick.
It's a show.
It's sick. These things aren't cheap. So I was... I went to Ian's booth at Auto Fiber and I gave him the okie doke. I said, Ian, look at that. Hot girl's looking at you. He said, where? And I grabbed it and I ran, man. And he's just not... He's not quick enough to catch
He'll never know. He'll never know.
Oh, he knew. He was yelling.
He knew.
But
whatever. He can't catch you.
Yeah, he ain't catching me. I've been running from people my whole life.
Yeah, man.
So what do we got? Jimbo's over here talking about lack of innovation, auto detailing podcast. Jimbo's a big auto fiber guy.
Let's go up a little bit more.
So what struck you about his SEMA recap, guys?
I don't know what innovation people want at this point. Like I said earlier, like, what do people want to be innovated out of a job? Like, if the chemicals get better, if the processes get better, if the machines get better, what need are they going to have for us?
I think detailing is just oversold, so everyone's expecting the new thing.
What do you mean by oversold?
I just think, like...
Oh, wait, what was that? Is that the...
No, that's the little knot. That's
the little knot?
Yeah, that's
not the mega knot?
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the dreadnought, man. I love you in auto fiber.
Yeah,
anyway.
He's a cool dude. I don't know. I think maybe it's like... I think I don't know, man. Maybe our detailers just like they just want to be sold because everyone's like, I want that brand.
Is it so? Well, actually, look, I had a thought.
Fanboys,
Is it
you know
that
what I mean?
people want to be wowed by the next big thing because they don't want to put the time into their business to, like, again, the flex is, oh, I come back with the new polish, I come back with the big, instead of I come back with the fatter check because I'm doing things right and I'm building my business. I'm becoming a businessman. Like, are people looking for an escape in these innovations to focus their attention on something else because they're not putting in the work to really create a sustainable business like you have?
I think it's less about business, and that's what, if you talk to a lot of really like, the detailers that are pretty negative, they want to, it's all about the car. It's all about the car. It's like, yeah, but
it's all about the check.
What do you mean
Yeah.
it's all about the car? Like the
like
results?
that's more about the results, and it is. But you should be able to get to that result.
It's
If
only
you're a pro, it shouldn't take you a month to do something.
it's
Like,
about the result the customer wants. Like, it's not about, again, we talk about this all the time, but
it's like
the
your
ego.
end goal. I guess all end goal.
Man.
Because if you are doing like, different show stuff, and you're really trying to, I guess it's just, it's like what you're getting paid for. But they don't care. It's like, bro, I want the shiniest goddamn paint. That's my enthusiast side. Talk to me.
Right.
I
My
want
enthusiast-
the slickest freaking, like, I want the best, because I'm an enthusiast myself. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a craftsman. Like, I want the best product. I want, like, I don't want junk. Yeah,
What
I'm
cabinet do you want in your garage? Like Matt Mormon OG style. Like, what if you could set your garage up with like the perfect cabinet system? What would it be?
I just want some.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. I guess I was looking for that. When I was going to SEMA, I was looking for the wow.
Right. But
I met good people, and that was my wow. That's what I
Yes,
chose.
right.
yes,
That's
yes.
great point. Great point.
And
I
is
had
that
some
a reason to
phenomenal
keep
conversation.
going to
Absolutely,
those?
absolutely.
Yes.
But so you were talking about your enthusiast. What you've done a really good job at is using that enthusiast side of you, that passion side of you, to want to do the most, but use that to fuel the processes and fuel the business moving forward. And you've done a good job at kind of curving that to getting customer pleasing results without over extending yourself on the work that you're not getting paid for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's
But
a
I
hard
feel like
balance.
I feel like you can get to that show quality, and you could get, at least for paint corrections, I feel like you can get to that level, because we try to do show quality, right, Henny?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we try to do that. Like, we try to get to that max gloss. But you got to be a pro is to get that to the most efficient way as a pro.
but still be profitable.
Be profitable. But and there's a way to do that. We do it. Like, we get that 80% correction, 85% correction.
What if the detailometer would tell you when you got to that spot without you having to use your eyes? Would that be an effective tool?
It would be.
It'd be like you'd be able to tell your guys like, "Hey guys, when this device tells you you're there, stop." I don't know. I'm just talking out loud.
No, really.
I talked to these guys for a long time. It's a $2,400 tool. It's just too much for me to
No,
want.
man, for sure, for
I'm
just gloss, but that's actually a-
but it's a really dope one, and they measure the haze and all kinds. They had all these different test scores. They seem to think it was the next big thing.
Yeah, well, it should be. We have a 70% gauge in our eyes, right?
Hell yeah.
We'd be like, yo, get this to 70.
But that would actually be a good product. If you had a product that not only could you use to keep your guys or train your guys to learn what that 70, 80, 90% defect removal looks like, but also sell to your customers like, hey, Mr. Customer, look at this, scan it. This is 100% test panel. Look, 20, this is 80%. This is the difference. I took out 80% of the defects. All right, I'm sold. What's that going to cost me? Right? That's a great selling tactic, but also a great training tool that has practical application. Because some people default to a lot of detailers is they either can't tell what that 70, 80, 90% defect removal looks like, or they can't differentiate it, or they can't limit themselves. It's like, oh, I think I'm at 70, but maybe I'll just go a little bit more, and that little bit more ends up being 90% in 3 hours later. So if they could say, all right, boom, 71%, got it. That's what I look like. That's what, 2 passes this way, do this. That's what it looks like. Then yeah, that's a great training tool, a good way to improve your business. So you need to create that, Nick at DIY.
I mean, we talked about. I really wanted this thing to be cool because it's like, what other innovation did you see there? Like, I just didn't see any brand new anything that was like, whoa. So I wanted this to be, and it was in the featured section at the beginning of the SEMA magazine. So I went and talked to him.
What have you seen in years past that made you like
Flex Pixie 80.
right? But okay, that was.
Dude, I'm a 3-year
polisher.
SEMA veteran, so not a long time veteran. I don't know. You've been going to SEMA a long time. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen what have you seen that when as soon as you saw it, you were like, Was it like
Honestly,
a HDO pad from Lake Gun? Like
Ceramics. Ever
Yeah,
since
probably
then, it's
ceramic.
been little things here and there, but nothing that's like, oh, this changes the game.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
feel like I feel like maybe the industry's just in a down period. I just feel like I remember going to like the chemical guy's place and it was just bumping music, dude. Like, or you go to Lexani, like the wheel place, and it's like it's a straight up vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
Did
what,
you
there's
see-
no vibe, bro. Like,
That
it was
is
like
Did
a
you see
bunch
hand
of,
cut Jesus though at the
yeah.
That's it.
Expel?
There was no vibe. Like,
That's
you
it.
didn't go to a place.
It's the
there was a
energy.
place-
It wasn't the innovation. It was the energy was down.
bro.
That was it.
Dude.
That was it.
Energy,
Wait, how do you
dude.
measure that though? Do you have an energy-o-meter?
This
So,
right
like-
here?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
so
I'm just kidding.
so there
Like-
was just the vibe of it. Like, was you go into these places and like you almost wanted to participate.
Yeah.
Like even like the old Ceramic Pro place, or like even I was at the Expel booth. I was at S Tech with the homie freaking Jesus. It's like the vibe was just low, bro. Low vibration.
Felt like I was at a mortgage convention at some point.
Really?
It was like I'm here to do my taxes. I felt like I was in the Hewlett Packard, whatever Hewlett Johnson at the Walmart where they have up front there. I'm here. Here's my W-2s. I'm here to do. You know what I mean? At some point, it felt like that. It felt like I was at a tax convention. Like there wasn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There should have been go-go dancers and stripper poles.
Oh
and
no, Vegas! Here we go.
No, but no. So like when you go to something like that, you'd expect like it to be like hype. You know what I mean? Like.
Where was the energy for sure? And it's funny because I actually heard people saying that, like, oh, the energy seems low. Is there less people this year? But there was not. It
It
was.
wasn't. So attendance wise, it wasn't. So how would you measure 2020? The first year I went, 2021, I went
was-
with you.
It was dope.
I
it
thought
down.
there were less people, but I remember like interviewing Mike Phillips at the 3D booth or whatever, and I was like, I felt like it was, as the kids say, bussin'.
Busted? Yeah. It was
the
busted,
kids
bro.
say it for a reason.
Yeah, no mullet, but I still got it. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah. But it was busted. But no, even like, I don't know, man. It just seemed, I don't know, man. It just wasn't busting, bro.
There was the vibe for
No.
sure. I mean, I had some phenomenal conversations. The show as a whole was amazing, but yeah, man, like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
usually
cool
the year
people.
before that. 2022, I was running the halls, man. I want there was a vibe. There was some
There's a
energy.
vibe, yeah. Is it possible that Jack from Stjarnaglas wasn't there this year and that just killed the vibes?
Ceramic
Maybe.
or
'Cause he wasn't
chemical
there.
guys didn't have a freaking booth.
No
Last year,
turtle,
2022, they did though, right?
no turtle
they've
wax.
always had one.
No turtle wax,
no-
no chemical guys this year. What does that say about SEMA?
It's the nerd spot.
Is it? I don't know about. I don't know if it says anything about SEMA. I mean, I guess I don't know.
I think
Or the
they
industry?
realized. No, I think that paying
companies with a lot of money?
$150,000 for a booth, they know that they can get their money elsewhere. If they put a
this is a
$150,000 ad out on
This is a-
social,
This is a professionals event, except for the last day opens up to the public. But this is a professionals event. The guy coming in to wash his own car isn't typically coming to SEMA to find things to wash his car with.
But we as DIY are strongly considering going next year.
I think it'd be good, and hopefully you guys can bring a vibe with you because
Yeah.
you know
What
and
What do you think a vibe?
I want to have I just want a freaking booth just to have a booth. You know, maybe that's
Turntables and microphone?
Like, no, it's like that. It's like we could have freaking Born Detailer booth next year. You know, well, you know, see
Why
what's
not?
up. But
Anything's possible.
hey, bro, you know when we do goals, you know, there's goals. But yeah, so I just feel like the whole vibe is just different. I had a good time, but we do. I really can't tell you what innovation is. I guess it is ceramic, or the ceramic coating was like such.
But other than that, I mean,
Even the raps. So if like you go to the raps area, the raps areas they were kind of popping. There was a lot.
there were a
more
lot
rap
of
plays.
PPF raps. Like what you guys do everything here, and if you don't, you shop it out. Like
Yeah.
what's happening in rap and vinyl and tint world that like
There's a
the detailer
lot
may
of
not
them.
know about?
There's a lot of freak.
Are they innovating, or is it just like is it?
so your homie John.
John?
Yeah, the big dude you sent in to get the polisher from me a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah.
He does the spray on
Oh,
wraps.
yeah.
That's kind of intriguing. You know,
We
you
did
know
it.
that.
That's whack. Yeah, he
Is
does
it whack?
Yeah, it's whack. So he tried to sell me it twice. This is the last time I actually did it for another friend of mine, like literally like 5 or 6 years ago. It's like a pill. It's a spray on.
Adam Huber does Clarity Coat. He
It's
used to
same
be with
thing.
Optimum.
Yeah, so it's the same thing, but it's their own thing. They do it in Europe, but it's you can buff it. It's essentially you have to put
It's
like a
not
primer
cheap.
down. No, it ain't cheap, and it's like it's a highly skilled thing. So we did it here at the shop a while ago, just to try it out. But dude, to make money at it, dude, it's crazy.
You gotta take
Is it?
apart
You
the
gotta
whole
tape-
dang
you have to-
car, right?
No, you can tuck in.
Okay.
They do like a, you can do like soft edges and stuff. It's essentially like a really good prepper can do it. But yeah, man, I don't see anything happening in the PPF. I don't know,
Yeah.
but the PPF, I hate
interesting.
it, dude. I hate PPF or not. I hate wraps because we take them off all the time. It's the worst thing.
Bad for your
Fucks
paint.
your paint up.
Yeah, it does.
Bro, it's like, and no one keeps it on just for 2 years. When people want it, it's like all of a sudden it's like 4 years, it's baked on there, it screwed your paint up.
Even if you got the dough, you're dropping 10 grand for a good wrap. 10, 15 grand.
Yeah, and then
like I'm not gonna I'll keep that on for 40 years.
The
man. I'm
people
not-
that get a wrap, though, they don't get it, bro. Like all of a sudden they're like, they pay 10, say if you're paying 10 grand for a wrap, you can get it from anywhere from 3 to 15 grand for a wrap. And then you're gonna take it off in 3 years? No, they don't take it in. They trade in their car,
Right.
and then they need it. Then whoever needs that taken off brings it to us,
Right.
and it's 3 grand to remove it.
Right, and when people get the wrap,
One of
it's
you
just
got-
like
yeah.
just like when you buy the car, it's like, oh man, my budget was $450, but this is $550, but it's only for if I'll do it for a year and then I'll get a raise, or they make it.
If you talk
it's
to a
2 years,
rap
I'll-
guy though, bro, he's telling you right now they're not painting cars anymore, dude. They're wrapping everything.
What do you mean?
That's what they'll tell you. That's like how like rap guys are like down for raps, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's like, dude, they're so down for raps. Like, you talk to a rap guy right now, it's like, paint's dead. They're never painting anything ever again. They're rapping.
Start
everything.
rapping them.
Elon Musk is right now trying to figure it out. And rap dudes love Teslas, bro. You go talk to a rap dude, they're like, oh, I can wrap a Tesla in 3 hours.
They're dealers are gonna, or manufacturers are gonna start wrapping them off the line.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing is, it's like, bro, they're not gonna do that. You realize how much freaking paint,
Paint's cheap. Here's the thing: is it's cheaper than ever because. So this is why
it creates jobs, dude. It's an economic thing. It's like, dude, the reason why it's a big industry, dude. If you took out all automotive and auto body out,
But you're not gonna make that switch now because so paint, like why we have this really bad downturn of less clear coat coming off manufacturers is because it takes 36 hours to build a car start to finish, and then it takes 3, 4, 5 days to paint the damn thing. So the manufacturers of these cars said, look, painters, something's got to change. We have this huge, we make all these cars and then they sit for days and days and days before we can push them, with the paint process. So they said, you guys got to fix this. You got to do something better. So these clear coat, manufacturers went back to the drawing board and they created a clear coat that dries faster. But in order for it to dry faster, you have to put it on thinner. That's why we're having these record lows in clear coats, is because the manufacturers pushed for them to create something that you could get done quicker. And then when the manufacturers saw, oh, we put on less, so we're actually saving money on the clear coat too, they're like, damn, how low can we stretch this?
yeah. So another thing too is that this is the sad part of it is like to make it dry faster, they use like these kicker additives. We call it kicker, but it's an additive like a fast reducer that makes it. But the problem is it when it sweats out and evaps all for it to dry and to cure, it off gases. That's why you can get that's why it
Bottle pop?
oxidizes. No, it oxidizes better because there's nothing on there.
Right.
So, and another thing too, by adding these additives, they don't tell you this, but it does make your paint more brittle. There's no flexing agent. There's no molding agents to have that elasticity.
Like GM
you know?
paint. GM paint think it's
hard.
brittle.
It makes it way hard, and that's why it's like, you're polishing. It's crazy. Anyways, long story short, are we back at it again?
Long story long. That was a long story.
I listened and learned a lot from you, man. Like when you talk paint, I listen. When you talk raps, I know you're in this actual world in these trenches, and I got stuff to learn. So I think you maybe realize
We all got stuff to
less
learn.
of
All I
like,
know, okay,
what
one thing you can
just
learn
said.
from this
like
is
you guys
like
both just dropped some wisdom.
polish on 6. Okay, polish on 6.
Use it in-
Raps suck.
Use both hands, and your knee with pressure.
Yeah, and you want to actually put ceramic coating on your polishing pad, so you
It
can
makes-
actually polish
yes.
and coat at the same time.
Yep. That's what-
And throw some dirt in there. If you have a heavy cut situation, just throw some dirt in there.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a it's like
Wet
abrasive.
sanding.
It's
Wet
abrasive.
sanding.
Yeah, it's like
wet
sanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that wet sand?
Yeah,
when
wet
you put
sand.
dirt on the pad.
Yeah, you put dirt on your pad, and it actually skips a full process.
You know what I found works good is just not putting a pad on there at all. So using the Velcro as an abrasive, and then you go back and polish. So you don't even need sandpaper anymore. You just do the backing plate.
It's a way to save money, which I admire in these trying times.
Right. You're gonna create like
we are in a
6
downturn.
grit sanding scratches with that, but you can buff it out. That'll
Probably
buff
buff that
out.
out.
But yeah,
Dude, just wrap it, bro. Just rap it, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, go,
Hashtag.
dude. If you don't have no rap friends that are buddies, go meet one, dude.
Oh, just
I feel like they must have egos.
They are down for the cause.
They must have egos.
Yeah, and then-
down for the cause.
They are so down for the cause.
You know who's down for the cause? This guy. Let's run this. Oh, let's run this
it
back.
back.
Let's
Yeah,
run
yeah,
this
yeah.
back. Come on now. This guy has a massive beard though, so I believe he's gonna have something interesting to say. Let's punch it up.
Teams I was a breacher. All right.
SEAL Team
We'd
Breacher.
get a target package. I'd gather intel on the breach point. I would build a bomb. I'd go back into the ready room, build a bomb specifically to breach this wall. We would go out. We would get on target. I'd be the first one in the patrol, right? I'd move up to the breach point. I'd peel the hydrogel off the back of this wall charge. It's this sticky stuff, right? I'd place the bomb on the wall. I'd cap my blasting cap in. You know, I'd pay my det cord out back to minimum safe distance, and I would look back behind me, and I would just see a bunch of sets of green eyes, right? It was my entire team was waiting for 3 words. And these 3 words ring through my head every single morning, and the 3 words are execute, execute, execute. And on the 3rd execute, I would put power to that charge and all freaking hell would break loose and we would crush our enemy. And that's what people don't do. Yeah. They don't execute. And you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, you don't know what's gonna happen. If you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself, dude. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees. You're cheating your team, whatever you're a part of. It's bigger than you.
Damn, that was deep. You know, here's the thing about execution. Ideas are cheap. Execution is everything. Like, we've all had $1 million, oh man, I had this $1 million idea, and then we don't do anything with it. Like, I've had a lot of those. I've had 15 of those, but I don't have 15 million in the bank. Yeah, today. Execution is everything. Without execution, you have nothing. It's funny, I had a conversation, and I was talking to Ian again at Autofiber, and this gentleman walked up that I really respect. Somebody I really respect. He's like, hey, Ian, when are we going to work on that wheel brush that we've been talking about for years and years and years and years? And I was like, wheel brush? He's like, yeah, I've got a great idea for a lug nut brush. I said, what is it? He's, I'm not telling you. Like, I was going to steal it from him. I said, bro, you can tell you can tell everybody in this hall and nobody's going to do anything with it. You know what I mean? Because everyone's afraid to execute.
But SEMA, people do steal ideas at SEMA.
So from things that are already done. They don't create new things. They go say, oh, that's already been done. They wait for other people for proof of concept, and then they'll do it, right? Yeah. They don't say, oh, I'm going to create this new product that I heard about. You know what I mean? But it's like ideas are cheap. And until you, like, we talked about it, he's talking about your team, like, until you have that why to really fuel your execution, you don't have the motivation to push through the hard times that are inevitably going to come. Like, he's talking about blowing buildings up. Like, just the mindset of having that you have to have the heart to execute on something like that is unbelievable. And he said, I love the way he framed it. He said, I say these 3 words and all hell breaks loose. And one of my favorite things is to have a trigger or not a safe word, but a trigger word, right? So Mel Robbins has a book called the 5-second rule, where it's when she has something that she starts to procrastinate on, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she thinks of a rocket, she gets up and does it. Same thing, man. I have trigger words where it's like, man, I got to take the garbage out. I got to do this, or I got to write this article. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. All right, execute, and then I go. No excuses is a non-negotiable. So, we talked about on the podcast, just having little processes and little alarms and things, have ways to trigger you that you use that. I use that as a way to put myself back into my why, right? This is why I'm doing it. Execute. If I don't do this, my family's not, my son's not going to be protected, and I'm up and I go. You know what I mean? So ideas are cheap.
Wait, so what's the takeaway of that video then? Like the 3 words?
No. Execute. Get off your ass and do something.
Ooh, okay.
Don't sit there and think about all the things you're going to do. Actually execute. Like, it doesn't matter. One of the things that I admire about Jamie is he executes. When he has an idea, almost to a fault, because sometimes I want to strangle him because it's like he starts pushing too hard, but that's on my own insecurities, right? He starts pushing, and I'm like, oh, I get reluctant, but it's...
I'm just a doer, bro.
I'm not hating.
I've been a doer.
It's something
like,
I
when it comes
admire
to
in
things
you.
like that,
That's what I
like
need.
to do.
That's what I need. And that's why we work so well together, is because you have the attributes that I don't, and one of them is execute.